Hey everybody, welcome to Downward Dog Rising. It's Traci here, and I'm going to give you a yoga Pilates workout tonight. It's going to just be freestyle, flowing from my head in the moment, just whatever I feel like doing, and I'll just intersperse things that go together between yoga and Pilates. So if that sounds like something you'd like to experience, then please grab your mat and join me now. All right, so let's begin. It's just a nice way to end your day, get into your body, free your mind, free your spirit, move a little, and just let go of the day so that you can start from scratch, clean, new, fresh the next day. Because if you get stressed out daily, you will impact the health and your energy levels will wane. So you want to make sure you clean the slate every single day and just kind of balance it out, go back to zero, and then just start again. Like each day is a new day, each day brings new stress levels, so every day just bring it back to zero so you can crank it up again the next day. But it's very important you take the time to come back down. All right, so let's start. Let's start seated on our mat. We're just gonna sit in a Dandasana, staff pose. And I'm starting with Dandasana because I'll lead you into something directly from Pilates after that. So in your staff pose, it requires effort. Your core draws in. You lengthen your spine. If you feel your pelvis falling and like really hard to sit up straight, take a yoga block under your sits bones. That will support the lumbar spine and give your hip flexors a little break. It'll just buy you a little more space to make it easier to sit like that. So no worries, grab your block and do it if it helps. That way you rise up, you lift your breastbone up, stretch arms to sky, front ribs meet back ribs, you're in your neutral spine. And if you wish, from your Dandasana staff pose, go ahead and stretch over the legs so we can go into our caterpillar pose. Maybe reach for your shins, maybe reach for your ankles, grab your toes, lift your heart to the sky, stay here and breathe. Just release any stress from your day, any tension, just let it go, let it melt away. You don't need it. Just let it go. Let go of any baggage that doesn't serve you. It just weighs you down. Really stretch over those legs. Go a little deeper if you can. Keep breastbone lifted. Let's take one more deep inhale. Rise up to top of head. We're going to go into a Pilates motion now. Just so you don't cheat, crisscross your arms over your shoulders, so that you know it's not the arms doing the motion, it's your torso. Front ribs meet back ribs. Rise up, sink into your sits bones. As you inhale, breathe into the space mid-back between your shoulder blades. As you exhale, return. You're elongating the spine, oppositional energy. Inhale to sides of rib cage, and then you exhale, return. You're going to inhale to sides of ribs, exhale, keep pressing head to sky. Inhale to sides of ribs, exhale, really stretch your spine tall, breathe in. 2 more. Wring out the wet towel, sides away, slow set. Inhale, inhale, exhale. All right, hands come by sides. Separate your legs a little bit. Spine stretch forward. Make sure that you're not arching your back. Find your rib cage. Your shoulders are straight over your hips. Let's just take our hands to the center of our mat, and then I want you to focus. The ribs pull back. Front ribs meet back ribs. Rise up. Now, you're going to pull your abdominal wall through the body three-dimensionally, and you're going to elongate up into your spine through the top of your head. Okay, now after you do that, after you lift up, take a deep inhale, separate the room, space from ribs and hips. Now I want you to exhale, stretch forward. These abdominals pull to your back, and now come right back up again. If you had osteoporosis, you would elongate here, keep breastbone up, and do just a little hip hinge forward. So it's a little different than spine stretch. You would only hip hinge. Here we're rising up. We're going through the top of our head, and we are doing some spinal flexion. So you want to pull your abdominal wall to your back, stretch your arms forward. So it's different than hip hinging. You rise up like an ocean wave cresting over itself. Really draw the abdominals to your spine, stretch forward, and rise up. As much space as possible between rib cage, hip bones. Rising up, lift up, up out of your waist. Stretch to the back of the pelvis. Use those core muscles. Let's do 3 more. You have to pull the abdominals in. Stretch up out of your waist. Pull those abdominals to the back of your pelvis. Spine stretch forward. Come back up again. 2 more. Inhale. Create the space. Feel those core muscles. Pull to your back. Stack up tall. 1 more time. Inhale. We use the breath to create length and space. Exhale. Gently come back up again. All right, next, take your legs together. So now your feet are together. Your legs reach long. Yoga, it's Dandasana again. And what I want you to do here, if you see my wrist, we don't break. The energy needs to pass through. We have to keep a straight line. We have to pull those ribs in, and then basically, I'll show you. This should not happen. Hips should not be going back and forth. One knee shouldn't be going higher. One ankle shouldn't be going higher. Meaning, you drop down into your sits bones. Pull the energy from your center up to the top of your head. And we're going to take a really deep inhale as we exhale, elongate our spine. We inhale. And then we're going to go exhale. Exhale, lengthen, 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 center, and then we're going to inhale, and then exhale, exhale. Your hips are straight, your knees are side by side, exhale. So now, exhale, exhale, rise up. This is our twist. Exhale, rise up, exhale, exhale. Feet stay together. 2 more. Last set. Rise up. All right. Next, take your arms up. Lift your heart to the sky. From Pilates twist, let's go into a reverse plank in yoga. Again, front ribs meet back ribs. Scoop abdominal wall to your spine. Turn on both glutes, stretch backs the thighs, push into your heels. Push into your mat. Remember, abdominals pull to back of pelvis. Core tightens in. Lift up your hips. Kick. Come in. Ooh, I got a cramp. Kick. Come in. Try to keep your hips level. I'm having some issues with that. 3 more. Kick up. Come down. Even if you kick this high, kick up. come down. Kick up, come down. Tighten your core. Kick up, come down. 2 more. Engage your glutes. Last one. And then gently come in. Ooh, something's pulled from here. And then I have plantar fasciitis on the bottoms of my feet. And I have an injured knee. So I'll do what I can do and work around my current issues. Okay, shake out your knees. So we did a little reverse plank with a few kicks. We're gonna take our Pilates version of some stabilized pelvis in a bridge, and we do our kicks from a stabilized bridge position. Slide your knees in, slide down to your mat, and what I want you to do is hold behind your thighs, lift your heart, breathe in, peel down, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. If you have osteoporosis, you would just come straight down to the mat without doing spinal flexion where you roll your tailbone under you, because that wouldn't be good for you. Inhale, exhale, scoop your core tight, open your shoulders, your chest, inhale, exhale, lengthen, lengthen through the back of your pelvis, through the lumbar spine, all the way to your mat. Good job. Now once you're on the mat, take 2 steps in. Your knees are over the ankles, the hips are over the knees. Your arms reach long, chest is open. Now, you just lift up your pelvis. Your knees stay in line with your hips so that they don't splay out. You engage your glutes. Lift those glutes a little higher. And then we're going to do 5 kicks each leg. No weight in neck. So in Pilates, we're stabilizing our spine. Point and flex with control. Point, flex. Keep your glutes level. Point, flex your foot. 3 more. Point and flex. 2 more. Point and flex. Last one. Point and flex. Knee folds in. Lift pelvis a little higher. Low back is long. Really get those glutes turned on so you don't get a Charlie horse from the back of your thigh. Now you're going to point, flex. Keep the hips level. Point, flex. Use your core. Point, flex. 2 more. Point, flex. Lift hips. Point and flex. Bend your knee. Inhale. Feel the low back really lengthen. Exhale. Roll down. Inhale. Exhale. Roll down some more. Inhale. Exhale. Roll down a little more. Inhale. Exhale. Roll down a little more. Inhale. Exhale. Target each area. Inhale. Exhale. Pull those core muscles in. Inhale. Exhale. Get the back of the pelvis on the mat. And then you could do a little stretch where your back arcs off the mat, arches. Hug knees into chest. Good job. Release. If it's okay on your back, you can rock side to side. It's okay, as long as it doesn't hurt your back. Okay, let's go into yoga now. We did our Pilates, articulating bridge down for spinal mobility. Okay, now we're going to do something to open our hips. My bracelet just went flying off my wrist. If you take your feet together, the soles of your feet, and then we're going to go into a butterfly stretch. I'm losing my voice again. It happens at the end of the day, so excuse me if I sound funny. We're going to bring the bottoms of our feet together. We're going to butterfly our knees out. It's a Supta Baddha Konasana, recline butterfly. You're going to feel a crease right in the front of your hip. Keep your chest open, collarbones wide, and just allow your palms to reach to the sky. And stay here and breathe. To get the back of the pelvis to widen into the mat, pull these 2 hip bones, anterior, superior iliac spine, that bone right in the front there, pull it tight across. Feel how the back of the pelvis widens into the mat underneath you. It just falls down. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Let your hips release. You're going to feel this crease right in the front of your hip socket where the femur bone goes into your acetabulum, that hip joint, ball and socket joint. We all have different degrees of flexibility in our hips. We have different angles of how the long bone goes inside the ball and socket joint. And if it has a certain angle, some of us might be tighter on the hips because of that angle. So if you wonder why your hips are so tight, sometimes genetics has a big part to do with it. Let the breastbone fall. We want to feel how the ribs expand sideways laterally. But we also have to get the air out of our lungs, so you melt your breastbone down. The sternum melts into the chest, and then you'll feel your thoracic spine, your middle back fall into the mat. You inhale, and then you exhale. The middle back will fall into the mat. Take another deep inhale here. Exhale, release. Knees come in. And just sway side to side a couple times. Just let those legs release. Do 5 knee stirs, hip openers. Core scoops in. 4, pelvis is stabilized on the mat. 3, 2, Pilates motion we do just to warm up. Last one, just releasing hips. 5, stir inside your hip socket. 4, spine is long. 3, 2 more. Gently come in. All right, we're going to turn onto our side. I'm going to have you prop yourself up on your forearm. Stack your knees. The thing I want you to look out for is collapsing onto your shoulder, which later will make your neck tired and sore and also make your shoulders sore. So you want to think of these bottom obliques. They're lifting our rib cage away from the mat. They're elevating, and then that's going to help open your collarbones wide. And we're going to go ahead and do a clam where heels come in front slightly. We're going to fold our legs in like a quarter of the way. That's it. Just take your hand to your hip, and you're going to make a V stance with your feet. So we're going to do this from our Pilates work. Pull shoulders so they're level, forward facing. Initiate from the side of your hip and glute. Rather than lead with the knee, it won't turn on the right muscle. Lead with your hip. Wrap out to the side of your glute and thigh. So you just lift. Abdominals tighten into your back, lift. And 8. Hips stay forward facing. 7. And 6. Feel side of hip and glute. 5. Your abdominals keep pulling really tight to your back. 4. 3. 2 more. And last one. All right. So what I want you to do next, take it up a notch. You're going to elevate so your hips are lifted, your core is strong. Now take hand behind head. Now you just elevate your top. Squeeze that top leg. 8. Chest is open. 7. 6, keep pressing the mat away with your forearm. 5, armpit to palm. 4, 3, squeeze side of hip and glute. 2, last one. All right, gently come in. Now we're going to take our bottom leg slightly in front of us on a diagonal, and then we're going to take the top leg right on top of it. And then what I want you to do here, we're going to just do a slight external rotation. So inner thigh twist out, hand on hip, maybe hands on the ground in front, and you're just going to kick the leg up, lift those ribs up, bring the leg down, kick up and down, kick up and down, and 6, 5. If this was too much on your shoulder or arm, you would lie all the way down like this on your mat. So we're just gonna kick up and down, lower ribs lift. 4, externally rotated. 3, 2, and last one. All right, bend your top ankle, knee. Place your ankle on the mat. We're gonna do really tiny circles now with our bottom leg, and then make sure neither of your hip points moves. Inhale, exhale. You're just holding your ankle. Inhale, exhale. 8, 7, 6. Those ribs keep lifting. 5, 4. Your pelvis is totally stable. 3, 2. Last one. Now you can remember, you could lie all the way down with your arm under your head. 2. Inhale, exhale, reverse the direction without moving hip bones. Hips are stabilized. And 8. Point toe. 7 and 6, 5, 4, 3. Feel that inner thigh. 2 more. Ooh, last one. All right. Now we're gonna just stack our knees. Come all the way up. Our knees are stacked. We're gonna reach for the ankle. We're just gonna stretch up and just elongate this whole sideline. Make sure the shoulder drops away from your ear. Little Pilates mermaid stretch, part of our precursor to mermaid. Just really stretch up out of your center. Get those ribs to totally open. Inhale, exhale. And inhale, exhale, you rise up in order to stretch over. One more deep inhale. Now from here, just extend the top leg, come onto that arm and just stretch up and over your head. Get this whole side to elongate for a moment. Inhale, and then exhale. Excellent. Breathe in, breathe out, really stretch. Inhale, exhale, and gently come up. And then it's the end of the day, so I don't want to do too many exercises in succession because then I might forget what I'm doing. So let's be safe and just flip it across to the other side just to be sure. I started in a clam, and then if you want to come down all the way, you would go like this. You would have your arm under your head. You would fold legs in, quarter of the way. Your heels would be in a little V. And you would squeeze the outside of this glute medius. You would lift and lower. So that's your modification. Okay, if you want to work your shoulder girdle a little deeper, your core, your obliques, keep your collarbones wide. Lift those bottom ribs away from the mat. And now take your heels together. Remember, avoid initiating from here because you're not really going to get the right muscles to turn on. Sometimes we don't even realize it until after we finish, like, oh, it's not working. Wrap. So you have to wrap from here across horizontally to your glute. And you're just going to lift that leg up. Keep your pelvis still. Lift that leg up. Lift. Keep those ribs lifting up. 8, 7, 6, really squeeze at the top of your thigh up here. 5, scoop core tight. 4, keep chest open. 3, just move your leg. 2, all right, last one. So then if you're all the way down, you want to make it harder, come up to this one here on your forearm, chest open. If you started here and you want to make it harder, you're going to come up into a little modified side plank. You keep collarbones wide, and then still have your feet go into a V. Lift up your bottom hip. Now squeeze that upper thigh. Wrap into that side of your glute. Inhale, exhale, start from the top. Squeeze up here. 8, 7, keep chest open. And 6, 5, squeeze the side of that hip and glute. 4, 3, 2 more. Exhale, last one. Gently lower back to your mat. All right. So now we're going to take our feet and we're going to take heels a little bit out in front. You could do this all the way down like you were before, like this if you wanted. You would just stretch those ribs apart. Otherwise, shoulder away from the ear, stretch neck long, lift ribs, externally rotate your top leg. Maybe your hands on your hip, maybe your hands behind your head. You're going to lift that leg up and really stretch, squeeze the side of the hip and glute. 7, point your toes. It's externally rotated. 6, your heart's lifting. 5, tighten the core to your back. 4, 3 more, lift that leg. 2 more, keep hips stable, bottom ribs up. Last one. Oh, it's going to burn. Mine's burning. Take a hold of your ankle. You could do this all the way. I'm so thirsty. I'm like dehydrated. You keep swallowing. I'll get some water in a bit. So then I ran today. Okay. What am I doing? We're going to grab our ankle. We're going to lift our heart. We're going to take our bottom leg up. Remember, you could do this all the way down if you prefer. Either or. However you do it, make sure you don't collapse like that, because that will only make you hurt later. We don't want that. Extend bottom leg. Easy does it. Super slow. Remember, only your leg moves. Really wrap those ribs to stabilize your hips. 7, try to just move your bottom leg. 6, really lengthen inner thigh. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Reverse for 10, stretch that leg out. 9, 8, 7, those ribs are wrapping. 6, 5, 4, and 3, 2, last one. Okay, now we're going to fold our knees in. We're going to come up and just feel like you can stack your ankles. Okay, we're going to get this whole side. We're going to stretch up. Okay, I shut the window good. Okay, there's tenants all around me, so I don't want to be loud. It's late at night. We're going to stretch up, 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 lengthen. We're lengthening up out of our center. Stretch those ribs apart. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathing in, breathing out. Stretch up, up, up. Get those ribs to open apart. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. A little precursor to our mermaid. All right, come all the way up. And then we're just going to take our top leg straight. Our bottom knee could stay bent. And you're just going to lift those ribs. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Your elbow should be under the shoulder for optimal support. And now we're just getting our other side to stretch and open. Inhale, exhale. All right. Breathe in, breathe out. Gently come back up. All right. We're going to go into a little straddle pose from Yin Yoga. And then after a straddle pose, I'm going to show you saw from Pilates. I'm gonna just get a drink. Excuse me for a second because my throat is so dry. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I keep drinking bubbly soda water. So that's what you hear. It's gonna pop open my bubbly seltzer water. No calories, no additives, just a slight flavor, like orange cream or grapefruit, lime, lemon, cherry. There's all sorts of flavors. Okay, now I feel better. Okay, my throat was so dry. Okay, better. Sorry about that. We're going to shake out our legs so our knees lift and lower. I better not be getting sick. That's all I got to say. Okay, now for straddle, I'm going to have you press this hip down, lift up, and just do a little hinge without letting your sits bone lift. Do like 4 more, hinge. Make sure your sits bone's on the mat, 3. And then 2 more. Last one. Breastbone center. This sits bone stays under you. Rise up. Twist breastbone other way. You'll know right away if another side's tighter. That just pulled my inner thigh, and it's like tight there, and it's hard to twist this way. So you'll notice which side's tighter for you. Elevate your heart, and just think of like hinging at the hip, like you're doing like a little stretch over your thigh. Come back up, you're making sure your hip doesn't go with you. Stretch over your thigh, lengthen your breastbone, 2 more. Yeah, 1 more time. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Head lifts and lengthens away from spine. Turn center. If you have a yoga block, grab it. You can use a rolled up blanket or a pillow. Those will work too. So you send the energy from your core through the bottoms of your feet, and you push through the arches like that. And now, make sure that your knees face up. Avoid letting your legs rotate internally because we don't want to grind our femur bones into our hip sockets. That's not a good thing. We want our thighs to keep rotating out to really keep the integrity of our hip joints. We don't want to let them go bone on bone and crash inward. Really keep them open. Stretch up. Create space. Keep lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. And then just go to wherever you can. And just stay here and breathe. You can even take your forehead to a block. Keep neck long. Just breathe. Go inward. Just release anything that's baggage, that's extra, that you don't need, negative thoughts, opinions of others that don't really serve you, that don't add to you. Anything negative, just release it. Doesn't help. It weighs you down. You feel like you can go a little deeper, go for it. Pull your sternum forward, your breastbone stretches so you avoid rounding your back. Osteoporosis, you're not going to force it, you're just going to keep the spine really long and just do a nice little hip hinge forward and just stay there. You don't have to go all the way over. Just get a little stretch. You could also sit on a yoga block to create more space in your joint angles. Breathing in Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Feel that low back pull apart. Those inner thighs spiral out. Soften your eye gaze. Soften your jaw. Just release everything. Breathe into the sides, back of your ribs, expand. Create space and length for your spine. Feel the energetic release through your hips. Let's take a couple more deep inhales here. Deep inhale. Exhale, release. One more time. Deep inhale. Exhale, release. Slowly make your way up to your forearms for a breath. Stay here for a second. Feel the energy travel through those legs, out through the bottoms of your feet. Inhale and exhale. Slowly make your way all the way up. Bring the legs together. Shake out those knees for a sec. Okay, next, from your straddle in Yin Yoga, I'm going to take you into a saw from our Pilates repertoire, from that workout. All right. These things just naturally flow from one thing to another, so I'm just feeling what feels good in my body and translating it to you, what'll just naturally go into the next. So for our saw, you take your feet the width of the mat, and then what you would do, you would rotate, your hips stay forward. The rotation happens through the thoracic spine for mobility. I'm going to turn in a second. So if you had osteoporosis, you would float head up away from tailbone. You would have a smaller rotation, and you wouldn't go all the way down. You would hinge at the hip like that and stretch oppositional diagonal energy, and then you would float up. You would do a smaller twist, and you would stretch head away from tailbone and do your diagonal energy opposite. So you would be doing these little hip hinges from side to side if you have osteoporosis, or if you're modifying from maybe disc herniation, you would just do a smaller range, okay? And now, if you want to do saw, where we actually roll through our spine rather than hip hinge, it's going to look different. You're going to go to the side, you're going to lift to the top of your head, you're going to nod your chin, and then you're going to travel as your core scoops to your spine. We're going to go pump, 1, 2, pulse. You're going to inhale, stretch, those wrists are straight. You start from the top of your head. This back arm goes up behind you a little. You pull the arms to opposite sides, and then you exhale. Exhale, stack, work your way through the spine. Inhale, and then you squeeze the air out of the lungs. Exhale, exhale. You really got to stretch up, up, up. You twist, your wrists are straight. You have to drop, those ribs wrap. Inhale. Exhale. And you have to really twist those ribs. Inhale. Exhale. Pulse. 1, 2. Inhale. Last one. And then exhale. And then you come all the way back up. Shake out your knees. All right. We're going to do something that both Pilates and yoga, we use this to release your spine. So come on to all fours. So I have foot problems right now and knee problems. So I'll work around it as I can. That's what I get for running shoeless 4 days straight for 4 hours, an hour each day when I was on vacation. Okay, what we want to do now, we're going to release our spine. We're going to do a little cat-cow. Feet are hip-width apart. Mine are going to be closer because I'm leaning on one knee more. We're going to elevate our heart, head away from tailbone. We're arching our back as a stretch. We never load our back when it's arched, just stretching it. It's okay. Drop your tailbone, drop your chin. Woo, I can't kneel on that knee. That was a shot of pain. You inhale, stretch apart, and then exhale. I hurt my knee on the wood floor here when I was trying to get my computer to work. And I was unplugging and plugging the monitor or whatever it's called into the wall. My bones grinded into the wood floor. My knee hurt really bad after that, so I don't even know what I did. I just can't kneel now. You're going to exhale, space between your shoulder blades. Inhale, head away from tailbone. 3 more. I just want you to stretch the ends of your spine. Pull your abdominals in. Stretch apart. 2 more. Osteoporosis, you're not going to round. You're going to extend, stretch a little bit, come back, stretch a little, come back. Okay. Next, if you don't have knee issues and you want to do a set of tricep push-ups, crisscross your ankles. We're going to do a tricep push-up, Pilates push-up, where your shoulder drops away from your ear, your hands come close, and I'm just going to do like a full-on push-up. I'm not going to do very many because I'll fall flat on my face at this point. So what I want you to do, you're on your knees, and you would just hug in like that. You would just have your elbows hugged tight. I could do it on one knee that way. Otherwise, you would drop your tailbone. Now my foot hurts too bad to put pressure on the ball of my foot. Okay. You would hug your elbows in, and then you would lift up. You would hug your elbows in, and then you would lift up. Keep tailbone long. 3 more. Shoulders out of ears. 2 more. Last one. If you're on your hands and your knees, do 5 more. And then when you finish with your 5, you're going to sit back, hips over heels, and then do a little rest pose where you stretch your arms back. And your palms could go up to the sky. And I think I'm going to end because I'm kind of tired today. I'm feeling everything. Okay. Palms to sky. Inhale. Exhale. We want our shoulders to relax away from our ears. Breathing in. And then breathing out. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Just grounding. Feel how the low back pulls apart. Your sits bones reach behind you. One more deep inhale. When we get stressed, we shallow chest breathe. Sometimes just like letting out a deep sigh, just let it go, like, so you can breathe better. So your chest doesn't feel so tight, constricted. Just release. Slowly bring your hands in. You're gonna press up. And then, let me see, what do I want you to do? I'm going to give you a modification because I don't want you to hurt your back. If you have, now I'm getting cramps in my feet and my legs, okay. I'm going to give you a modification. If you have herniated discs, spinal stenosis, degenerative disc disease, spinal stenosis, any of that stuff, you're going to work on just a neutral bridge, and that stabilizes your spine. You would just keep your hip bones straight to the ceiling. Make sure there's no pressure on the neck. You press in the mid-spine between shoulder blades, upper here, across middle back, and you would just lift up. Feel like you're really stretching your tailbone away, your glutes engage, and then you would come down. So you could work on these, do 5 or 10. And then I'm going to show you rolling like a ball. If you're not going to do the modified way, when you roll like a ball, you could do this also with disc herniations if it doesn't hurt, with stenosis. Just stay neutral, and with osteoporosis, you're not going to do spinal flexion where you imprint into the mat. I'm not going to have you do that. It's just a straight lift up, down. When we roll like a ball, to roll evenly through your spine, you need to do a pelvic tilt back, posteriorly roll hip bones back, imprint low back against mat. It lengthens into the mat, release. Basically, part of your ball is that type of motion in your spine. And then you would just hug knees in, and then you would lift top head away from your tailbone. Top of head away from your tailbone. And basically, here's another way. You want to be able to just sit on your sits bones. You're just going to sit on your sits bones and widen across your shoulder girdle in your back. And we never, ever, ever roll into your neck. Your head never goes back when you roll like a ball. You have to drop your chin in, and you have to use the Pilates breathing, because when you inhale, you fully expand and open up the back. When you inhale, that's when you roll into the back of your shoulder blades with chin down. When you exhale, your abdominal wall elongates to the length of the spine, and that's going to bring you back up. So you're going to nod your chin, inhale, exhale, lift to balance, inhale, into those ribs, into the back of your shoulder girdle. You inhale, and then you exhale, going back, holding under the knees makes it a little easier. The tighter the ball, the harder. You breathe in, and then you exhale. 2 more. Inhale, get the air out. Exhale, 1 more. Inhale, ribs expand, exhale, balance. All right. Now, after rolling like a ball, we could go into a control. It's not, actually, we're just gonna sit on top of our sits bones. We're gonna sit right on top, and we're gonna grab our ankle. We're going to grab our other ankle, and maybe this is what you do. Have enough core strength, core control to stay up on your sits bones and lift your breastbone to the sky. And then if you want to challenge yourself, like that's a challenge in and of itself, pull in. You don't have to do this with any type of disc degeneration because you don't want to compress into your low back. So it would be better if you sat tall, opened up the spine, and just breathe like that. Just open up the back of your spine and really create space in that lumbodorsal fascia. Open the space up and breathe into it. That would be better for you. Okay, just giving you a modification. Now, you're on your sits bones. You're going to stretch one leg up as heart lifts to sky. You balance. You come in. Then you stretch the other leg up as heart lifts to sky. You balance, you come in. And then you take both legs up as you lift the abdominals in and up. So you would take one leg to sky, lift your heart. You would take the other leg to sky, keep those ribs wrapping around you. Then you would take both legs, elevate your heart, reach through the top of your head. One more set. You would lengthen, come in, and then you would lengthen, come in, and then you would lift your heart to your sky. To the sky. All right. And I showed you that one. I'll lead you into, next one is just butterfly. Baddha Konasana. Maybe you'll go like this with your knees. Do a little butterfly stretch. It just kind of felt good to naturally release your hips after that last one. And then I'll show you open leg rocker just because it goes from what we just did. Open leg rocker, we never roll through our spine with disc disease or with osteoporosis, so avoid that at all costs. Do this, stay here, and do this one instead where you just elevate up and just sit tall. If your hips are super tight, no need to hinge forward from your hips, just stay tall. Stay equally balanced through each half of your pelvis. I haven't done open leg rocker in a really long time, so I'm not sure how good I'll be at it. When you do open leg rocker, and I also don't want to kick anything, this might be kind of iffy in here because there's things on each side of me. In Florida, when I had my house, I could go from room to room and do whatever I wanted. Here, I just have a tiny little space. Okay, so we're elevated. Open leg rocker. You have to drop your chin. You scoop your abdominal wall. You have to breathe into the back of your ribs the same way. And then I just want to make sure I don't kick anything. You have to inhale, and then your heart lifts you up to the sky. So you have to go, you inhale, you never go into the neck. You exhale, you have to rise up, your abdominal wall scoops tight. You inhale, and you have to have that rolling through the low back to make it happen. You inhale, ribs expand. Lift your heart to the sky. One more. You have to inhale and then exhale. So you do have to have that spinal flexion in that very low lumbar, this area here, which is contraindicated for certain things. So that's why you wouldn't do rolling like a ball, open leg rocker. Okay, gently come in to the mat, hug in, and then we'll join with this one, butterfly. So if you've been sitting in butterfly, we're gonna come out of it in 2 more breaths. You inhale, and then you exhale. One more time, take a deep inhale, and then you exhale. One more time, and then exhale. All right. From here, close your knees like a book, and then you're just gonna do windshield wiper like that. Roll right across your hips like that. All right, we're gonna close out our practice right now. We're just gonna do a little middle back stretch. So you windshield wiper, sit Sukhasana, easy pose. Now, we're gonna get our upper mid back to stretch. Let's do eagle arms. Garudasana, crisscross, elevate, breathe. Lift arms to shoulder height. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more time. Deep inhale, deep exhale, release. Whichever arm was on top, switch it. Go the other way, crisscross, lift up. Elevate your heart. Inhale, exhale. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale. Exhale, one more time. Gently release those arms. All right, we're just gonna shake out our arms for a second. Crisscross the other leg. Shake out those arms. All right. Now we're gonna do a couple shoulder rolls. They just lift up, down, back, away from our ears. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, release the tension out of there. One more. All right, take one hand in between the 2 shoulder blades. Press your elbow to the sky. Get a good tricep, back of arm stretch. Getting that arm bone deeper into your shoulder socket. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. The last one. Breathe in, breathe out. And release. Take the other arm. Reach in between your 2 shoulder blades. Elbow goes to sky. Neck is long. Look straight ahead. Breathe. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more time. All right, gently release. We're gonna close out right now. Necessary. I think I'm gonna hit the hay. I'm gonna go to sleep soon. All right, take a deep inhale here. Reach arms above. Drop those shoulders. Slowly just bring your hands to your heart. And I appreciate you for joining. If you like my channel, please hit like, subscribe, even share with your friends if you like. I have a playlist. Just scroll down my channel and look at the title, see if anything interests you. You can work on things yoga, Pilates, strength, shoulder stability, different things are there for you. All right, thank you so much. The light within me honors and acknowledges the light within you. Take care, everyone. Peace. All right, see you soon. Bye. Peace.